Limits of the Flesh, Chapter 75, Fantasy Fiction by Azazyel. Get out. Zekram Bael coldly ordered the shivering maid, who cowered at being the bearer of bad news, and at the dismissal the maid barely managed to stand up with proper decorum, but as she reflexively slammed the door shut as she fled. Zekram idly mentally noted to have her flogged in front of her peers as a reminder of the level of competence they needed to have, in order to even deserve the right to serve one as himself. Even as Zekram made that mental note, his mind was whirling at the news the maid had delivered, to the point that his control over his power of destruction was ever so slightly slipping, as he could feel the thick several thousand-year-old fossilized wood of this desk breaking apart under his palm's weight, with his palms sinking into it. That upstart is going to bring back all the clans. Zekram hissed mentally as his old and experienced mind dissected the absolute madness that Jake Barris was planning. To bring back all the clans, and for them to be born under the aegis of the Gremory clan and that other whelp Sarafal Citri protecting him. Zekram couldn't help but marvel at the political move that it was for Jake Barris to label himself as the new Satan Lucifer in his move to bring back to life all the extinct clans, even if some of the clans still had surviving members. They were all either weak, poor, or being the last members of the clan without the clan trait, the clan would be declared extinct. But should he bring back the clans, then those clans and their holdings by devil law could and would be claimed by challenge of might. And between Sarafal and Grafia, few if any devils can win such an honor battle and prevent him from all but claiming more than half the underworld with such a play, with the very laws made by the original Lucifer backing him. Zekram growled as he came to the end conclusion of the power move at its inception. But there was one major detail that struck Zekram as he looked beyond the immediate effects of this plan, as he looked towards the possible future Jake's actions could lead to, and he realized a major fact. Jake was a monster who could weave flesh, bloodlines, and a person's very soul. Like a musician could weave a song to enchant the masses. Jake's creations wouldn't be weak. Zekram knew down to his very core that whatever Jake would make would be perfect, a work of art that would surpass Lilith's children, as Jake could mix and match bloodlines and bodies to give a clan trait the perfect host. Just like how the power of destruction fit Surzek, as like sliding a hand into a glove that fit him better than the clan trait worked within his own body. He knew Jake would have every creation be another monster that would fit perfectly with that clan trait. 72. Super Devils. Such a thing is madness. Zekram said with a tinge of horror in his voice as he realized Jake was done playing around. He could actually be moving to take over the entire underworld, and if he had 72 Surzek's equivalents. There was nothing in the underworld that could stop that. Zekram calmed himself down to regain his typical aristocratic demeanor as he came to a powerful realization. He needed to kill Jake Barris himself, as he couldn't trust anyone else to do it. As they could fail, and with Jake, death was no way to hide any secrets from him. After a moment of thought, Zekram opened the desk beside his seat and then pulled out an ornate telephone, and after spinning the dial a few times and a long pause, he heard the feminine voice of his descendant Venelana respond crisply. "Yes, ancestor, what do you want?" Zekram mentally bristled at not being afforded a respectful tone of voice, as what right of the being who was all but the leader of the entire devil race of now. But he was a patient man. He calmly responded, and with zero inflection in his voice. "I must congratulate you on the son-in-law you have acquired for little Rias. A pity about your actual son though, my condolences," he said with no hint of it being in good faith, and he couldn't help a hint of cruel joy at the pause of silence that came through the line at the jab he made. But as his wretch of a descendant responded, his grip on the ornate phone tightened, and it was only the many enchantments atop it that kept it from shattering in his grip at the response he got. "Oh. Yes, it's been so hard. First Surzex, then Zeoticus was assassinated. It's like someone is targeting my family especially, but thankfully Jake has come through and is taking up a fatherly or older brother role with Milikas, and he has been just so supportive to myself, Grafia, and of course Sarafal and Rias." Idly Zekram was wondering that Brat had seduced or otherwise wormed his way into those weak-willed women's beds, but disregarded the thought as they didn't matter beyond Grafia and Sarafal's strength. So he just blandly answered, "Well, that is just great. I am happy for him. Now as to why I have called, I after many hours of consideration will like to meet Jake Barris and discuss the future. Discuss how I may help his ascension as a Satan, which is assured, and what I may earn for such a service." Zekram had many thoughts, but putting Jake on a throne was not at all one of them. He was going to be Lucifer, and he would see the devil race burn before he would let another young whelp take the reins for the old king.